guys, how are you all doing? Hope you all had a wonderful weekend. So Prati is back with a yummy dish. Welcome to Prati's kitchen. Today's recipe is all about my cravings as a kid. Like, I had always craved for these yummy samosas and spring rolls. Of course, samosas, this has been my childhood love even till date. I just love them. These are also called Irani samosas or mini samosas, pretty much famous in old city here in Hyderabad, and we barely find it at very few outlets here. So basically, I don't usually get them, but when I do, then I just like literally feast on them. So I just thought, why not sharing this wonderful recipe with you all. And I also will show you how to make this sweet and sour sauce that goes excellent with your spring rolls or any Chinese dish. So basically, that's again a quick one. So we will make the spring roll sheets and samosa sheets and the sweet and sour sauce. Before that, just look at the perfect texture of my samosa. You have to listen to this crunch. Oh my god, that's so insane, isn't it? Don't you all want to make this yummy samosa at home and maybe surprise your family? Look at that crunch. I couldn't resist taking a bite. I'm so sorry. And yes, of course, if somebody is not too much into deep frying and oil and stuff like that, they can always air fry it or can bake them, but nothing like deep frying them. Once in a while, it's just okay. It's just absolutely okay. So let's start cooking. So first we'll start making our batter. For that, I would require about a cup of all-purpose flour. Keep one measuring cup because we're going to be using the same cup for measuring our water. Now to it, I'm adding about 1 tablespoon of salt. You have to add salt as per taste, which is 1 tablespoon. Now give it a good mix, and first we will add 1 cup of water to it because we don't want to make it runny and make it hard for us to mix it super well and lump free. So basically, if it's flowy, it's too much of water, you cannot get a lump free batter, which is why we've added first 1 cup of water. The rest of the water, which is half a cup remaining, we will add now. So I'm adding the remaining half a cup of water to it now and giving it a good mix. We need a runny consistency, a thin batter, absolutely thin, just like that, so that when we spread it on the pan, it just easily spreads and comes out as a thin sheet. Now to it, I'm adding about 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. This is regular vegetable oil. You may use your olive oil as well. Now we'll be preparing our stuffing for the spring rolls. So for the spring roll stuffing, we would require shredded cabbage, capsicum thin sliced, green, yellow, red is what I've taken here, then carrot, onion and some chilies. You may also add beans if you have. I did not have beans, so I did not add it, but you may add it. Now take a pan, add about a tablespoon of oil. To it, first I will add my thin sliced onion. So this is roughly about 4 tablespoons. Give it a good mix. Now we'll be cooking this at medium to high because we're not going to make it soggy or soft or anything like that. It's got to be always usually Chinese is made on a medium to high flames, which is what we're going to be doing. So we will just cook it semi cook it. So I've added all my vegetables in there and the flame is on a medium. Now to it, I will add about 2 tablespoons of green chili. I've already added. You may add as per taste. I've added salt as per taste and a teaspoon of pepper powder. So this will enhance the spiciness and the taste of it. Now this is exactly what you would require for a stuffing for a spring roll. But you may also, however, add the additional sauces which I'm adding here. These are completely optional. I have taken about a tablespoon of soy sauce. I've added about 1 tablespoon of red chili sauce, about 1 tablespoon of green chili sauce, and about 1 tablespoon of tomato ketchup. I will be adding that further. But you really don't have to bother, adding these sauces. Just the salt, pepper, ketchup, or a teaspoon of sugar would do the magic. So this is how it is, cooked. Now once it is semi-cooked, keep it aside. Now take a pan, heat it at low flame, and wipe it with little oil in a tissue and try to grease it. Now take a spoonful of batter, try to rotate your pan just like that, the way I'm showing you, and spread it across. So just try to fill in any gaps, any holes, because we don't want the oil to seep in our spring rolls or our samosas, which is why you have to make sure it is hole free, break free and things like that. So it doesn't matter, it just comes out very beautifully. You don't have to think that you're doing a patchwork and it might show up. No, it wouldn't. It just comes out really neat. Now once the bottom is cooked, you wet your hands and you have to hold the entire sheet almost till the mid of it so that it doesn't break, and then flip it over. Because if you hold it at the corners, just at the corners, thinking it's pretty hot and you can't hold it with the hand, which is why we are wetting our hand, you have to wet your hand. Make sure for every sheet you're wetting your hand, holding it right at the middle, almost till the middle, and then flip it over. Now the entire procedure has to happen on low flame. You do not have to brown it. You cannot make it, roast it or something like that. You have to just cook it slightly, and then this is the right stage to remove it. Sprinkle a little flour and place it in a plate. Now we're just doing the second batch. I'll also show you how to prepare it just the way we do our dosa. Just take a ladle full of batter and try to spread it just like dosa. But just to ensure that you followed my previous procedure, I'm showing you another one. So I'm just following the same procedure here. I've spread it, with rotating the pan just like that, and then wet my hand, hold it till the mid, and cook it on both the sides. Sprinkle a little flour and keep placing it on each other. So this is just to ensure it doesn't stick to each other. You may also apply oil or place parchment paper and on every sheet, just to make sure it doesn't stick. Otherwise it easily sticks because they are hot. Now this is the second technique I'm showing you, my third sheet, which I'm making just like dosa. So this again equally comes out good. Just make sure there are no holes and there are no cracks, and it's just neat and you're not making it thick. That's about it. So one full spoon will give you a big nice sheet, so you have to just spread it quickly as soon as you drop it on your pan, because then the tendency of it sticking to the pan is very good and you wouldn't get a neat dosa, a thin dosa. So you have to just work out fast on that, and make sure you're not making them too brown or overcook them. Just repeat the procedure, sprinkle little flour. Sprinkling the flour is very essential. Now moving on to our second recipe of the yummy chatpata sauce. So I'm going to be showing you how to make garlicky, gingery, chili, sweet, sour sauce. So now I'm taking a pan. First I haven't heated it, just a pan. I'm taking about 1/4 cup of sugar, which is about 4 tablespoons. Regular sugar. To it I've added 1 tablespoon of chopped ginger, 1 tablespoon of chopped garlic, and add 2 tablespoons of chili flakes. So you may reduce it to 1 tablespoon as well. I like it spicy, so I kept 2 tablespoons. And I'm taking about 2 tablespoons of vinegar here. This is a regular vinegar. Now to it I'll add about 2 to 3 cups of water. First I'm adding 2 cups, the same measurement cup with which I have taken sugar. So keep the same measuring cup and take about 2 cups of water. Now on a medium flame, just cook it. Make sure the entire thing is cooked. Just you have to roughly cook it for 3 to 4 minutes to ensure the ginger, the garlic, and I'm adding about 1 teaspoon of salt here. So we just have to cook it for 3-4 minutes to make sure that everything comes together and the flavor combines and infuses a nice aroma of a ginger, garlic, vinegar, sugar. Oh my god, it really smells insane. So yeah, just cook it roughly so that it's no more raw, and the flavors are infused in the gravy or soup or sauce that we are making, and give it a good stir. And once it is cooked for 3-4 minutes, this is the right stage where we will add our corn flour mixture. Now I am adding about 2 tablespoons of corn flour mixture here. You may take just 1 tablespoon, more than sufficient. I wanted to keep it thicker, which is why I've added 2 tablespoons, but you may take just 1 tablespoon. And for the 2 cups of water that we have taken, but I am going to be adding 1 more cup of water here, which is why I've taken 2 tablespoons of corn flour mixture. So just add it, keep constantly stirring it, because see how it quickly thickens. So you have to keep stirring it. Add as much as water required to make it thinner. So just added a little water here, and I'm going to add more because I want a thinner consistency. And also because once you turn off the flame, it will go more thick. It will turn a little thicker. So which is why we have to keep it as thin as possible. And yeah, and that's about it. Once it gets to the right consistency, you will turn off the flame. So now the last ingredient that I would add up here is 1 tablespoon of tomato ketchup. This is completely optional, but I would recommend use it for the color. So I've taken about a tablespoon of tomato ketchup. I also added about a teaspoon of Kashmiri lal mirch to get a little little reddish, that beautiful color. So after adding a teaspoon of Kashmiri lal mirch, this is how it looks. I've turned off the flame and transferred it to a bowl. So you can store it and refrigerate it for a week and have it with your Chinese dishes. Now let's prepare our spring roll. Now for the spring roll, see how beautiful these sheets are. It isn't sticking to each other, so you have to make sure that you have enough flour sprinkled over each sheet. Now for the slurry, I am taking about 5 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. To it, I am adding roughly about 12 tablespoons of water, regular water. Give it a good mix. This is our sticking agent. So once it comes to a little lump-free, texture, we will keep it aside. Take the first sheet, and we will start applying the slurry across all the entire border. So throughout the borders, you have to keep applying the slurry. Just take a generous amount. We have to make sure that we are getting a break free spring roll. That the only mantra, if you don't want any disaster happening there, you have to make sure that it has to be completely perfectly sealed across all the corners and borders. So this is how you have to do. Use generous amount of slurry, as much as required, to just seal it properly, because we don't want any oil to kind of seep in there, and when you break, you're just kind of having this oil dipping out, and we don't want that to happen, which is why we are going to be using generous amount of slurry and nicely roll it up and seal it up. So I am going to be repeating this procedure for almost 2 to 3 times. I'll just show you how to make these spring rolls. So just follow the same technique and you'll get a wonderful, crispy and crunchy, amazing fail-proof spring rolls. So I'm doing the same thing. I'm going to be repeating the similar procedure again here. So just apply your slurry across all the entire border and the corners, and you have to put the stuffing almost towards the end, like leaving about a centimeter at the bottom. Then roll it up, stick the corners, and again roll it up. Now the point to be noted here is, why my rolls are coming out this easy? Because my sheets are thin, they are not thick. If you make it thick, they are too adamant. The thick sheets are too adamant to hold a shape or to even stick with the help of a slurry. So we don't want to make thick sheets. We have to make thin sheets to make sure that they are sticking properly and holding the shape. So if the sheet would have been thicker, it would just open up. Even if I try to stick it, it would just open up. So I think my sheets are perfect, which is why it's sticking so good. Now let's start making our stuffing for the onion samosas. So for the onion samosas, very simple, stuffing I'm showing you, and that is of onion, chilies, and mint leaves. So take about 1 medium-sized, finely chopped onion. To it, I'm adding half a handful of mint leaves. To it, I've added 2 tablespoons of green chilies. You may add as per your taste. I've added salt. I've added about 1 tablespoon here of red chili, because we like it spicy. You may reduce it to 1 teaspoon as well, and I've added 1 teaspoon of turmeric powder. Now to it, I'll add about 1.5 teaspoon of ginger garlic paste. You may add just 1 teaspoon of ginger garlic paste. That's absolutely perfect. So after you're done adding all the ingredients, give it a good mix. So just mix it all super well. Make sure that you're using it, not storing it and using it immediately, because onion tends to leave water. So now take a sheet, cut it into 4 equal parts, just like that. And now we will start making our samosas in a triangle shape. Yippee! So see, this is how you have to do. So your the 2 ends, wherever you get the 2 ends, you just bring all both the corners together, stick it like this, and get a cone shape. Now after getting the cone, I'm telling you, it'll be a little tougher, messier procedure, because it's so thin that you can't hold it in your hand. It just is a little tougher procedure, but all worth it. At the end of the day, when you're applauded for doing such a wonderful job, you'll be really proud of yourself, trust me. So seal it, apply the slurry perfectly, and seal it just like that. So you're bringing the bottom up and sealing it thoroughly, and again applying the slurry if required on the top, just to make sure and ensure it doesn't open up. So repeat the procedure. I am just taking one piece and bringing both the corners together and sticking it, bringing it and together and sticking it, and giving it a good cone shape, stuffing it up. Don't overstuff it, because again the fear of breaking is high when you overstuff it. So just seal it perfectly and place it on the opposite side, because when you're putting it in the plate, applying the slurry and putting it in the plate on the same side, then it might stick to the plate. So just keep it on the opposite side where there's no slurry. Now take the oil, completely you have to heat it like from medium to high. So your oil has to be piping hot, and then bringing it to medium, drop in your spring rolls. My pan size was slightly bigger, so I had dropped in about 3 of them here. You may actually deep fry around 2 of them together. Do not touch it or flip it until it holds the shape. Now this is very essential, because this is where if you touch it, this is where you can fear that it might break, or your fork might pierce in, or whatever it is. So you don't want to touch it until it holds the shape. Once it holds the shape, slightly turns golden brown, keep flipping it then, and deep fry them until it is completely ready and is crisp and golden brown. So my spring rolls are ready, so I'm just removing it and straining them in a tissue paper, and we will deep fry our samosas next. So I'm taking my samosas, I'm dropping in about say 7 to 8 of them together, because these are mini samosas and the pan size is bigger. So I'm just dropping in around 8 to 9 of them together. I will not flip them, I will not touch them, I will just leave them to hold the shape for some time, and then make sure that they're not sticking to each other, and then flip them over. So once they are slightly cooked and you don't fear that it might break, then you start flipping them over. So altogether, just cook it, deep fry them for roughly 5 to 6 minutes until they turn golden brown. So this is perfectly done. So we're going to be just removing them, straining them again in tissue paper before we serve them hot. So my samosas are done. Oh, these look so gorgeous. These look so beautiful. I feel so hungry. I want to eat them now. Well, so this is how crispy it comes. So just remove them all and strain them. So next procedure is to just make your yummy plating. Do the way you love to. So I've just served them with some green chilies in there and a little bit of coriander sprinkled, and of course the sauce, the sweet and sour sauce. So look at that beautiful crunch that I'm going to show you. Isn't that gorgeous? Let me show it to you on samosa. This again is so crispy, piping hot. I couldn't resist. I happily had this. Like, I had to show you, and I broke it, and I just couldn't resist and happily galloped the entire samosa, even when it was pretty hot and not, I couldn't even have it so hot, but still, because I couldn't resist the crispy, fresh flavors, I just finished having one while showing you the video. So I'm sure you must have enjoyed watching this video, and make these yummies for your babies, your family, and I'm sure you'll get a lot of applause and praises. So wishing you all a very happy cooking, dearies. And if you want me to make any further good videos which you'll want me to make, please leave your comments below. And stay blessed and loved always. Thank you for watching Prati's Kitchen.